Welcome back to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate home for all things Liverpool. Today we've got huge transfer drama and breaking news.
Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Liverpool learns £75 million asking price for transfer target as Wonder Kid plans change. Liverpool team versus Brentford predicted as Mohamed Salah decision made amid two changes. What Arne Slot told former Liverpool man he believed weeks before selling him revealed. Now let's hear the details. Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Liverpool learns £75 million asking price for transfer target as Wonder Kid plans change. The emergence of Liverpool's young talent Rio Ngumaha reportedly altered the club's transfer plans, according to recent reports. The Daily Mail suggests that Arne Slot's team had considered a move for Bournemouth's wide forward Antoine Semenyo during the last summer transfer window. However, the Reds didn't want to hinder the progress of the 17-year-old prodigy. Ngumaha has already made 5 appearances in all competitions this season, including scoring a stunning late winner from the bench against Newcastle United at St James Park. Despite Slot's careful management of his development, there's a buzz surrounding the young winger. However, Liverpool have seemed a bit thin on options on the wings recently, with the Reds said to be among the Premier League clubs keeping an eye on Semenyo, reports the Liverpool Echo. The report suggests that the Cherries would ask for more than £75 million for the 25-year-old who has netted 6 goals and provided 3 assists in just 8 Premier League matches. Liverpool's interest is not yet advanced, but they are one of several clubs tracking the forward. Semenyo is a crucial part of Andoni Iraola's team, and Bournemouth are not under any pressure to sell their star player in January. Bournemouth have already pocketed around £155 million from player sales in the recent summer window, including selling Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid, Ilya Zabarnyi to PSG and Milos Kerkez to Liverpool. The Cherries have kicked off the season in fine form, currently sitting in 4th place and eyeing a European spot. Reports suggest that a hefty £75 million could bring Bournemouth to the negotiation table this summer, with Tottenham and Manchester United having shown interest last year. Rumours are circulating that the Ghana international has a release clause that kicks in 2026, although these claims remain unverified for now. Chelsea and Bayern Munich are also reportedly keen on Semenyo, with the latter considering the forward as a potential replacement for Michael Olise, should contract negotiations hit a snag. Liverpool's sporting director Richard Hughes, who signed Semenyo from Bristol City in 2023 and maintains a good rapport with the Cherries, could play a crucial role in any upcoming transfer discussions. Liverpool team versus Brentford predicted as Mohamed Salah decision made amid 2 changes. Defeats to Crystal Palace, Chelsea and Manchester United, all in virtually the same manner, with the Reds having fought back to equalise before succumbing to a late goal, have left Arne Slot's side 4 points off the pace of current leader Arsenal, having previously sat 5 points ahead of the Gunners. Mikel Arteta's side doesn't play until Sunday, giving Liverpool the chance to narrow that gap, even if it is just momentarily. At this early stage of the season though, it's vital the Reds don't fall further behind. Wednesday's 5-1 win at Eintracht Frankfurt was just the tonic Slot and his players needed, and having made 5 changes in Germany, the Liverpool boss should now have his blueprint for today's game in London. Of course, he will be forced into at least one change, with Jeremy Frimpong ruled out after limping off during the first half in Frankfurt. There's an easy solution to that problem, with Connor Bradley back in the starting lineup. Otherwise, the rest of the back 5 should remain the same. Georgi Mamardashvili keeps his place in goal as Alisson Becker remains out injured, with the Georgia international set to get a rest in the Carabao Cup during the week. Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate continue at the heart of the defense, while Andy Robertson should keep his place at left-back over Milos Kerkez. If there are any doubts over Ryan Gravenberch after the midfielder twisted his ankle against Manchester United, then he shouldn't be risked. He is far too important a player in this side, so Slot needs to look at the bigger picture with regard to the rest of the season. Therefore, we're sticking with Curtis Jones alongside Dominic Szoboszlai. Alexis Mac Allister will no doubt come back into consideration, but Jones didn't do anything to deserve being dropped in his record-breaking display on Wednesday. As we move into the attack, let's hope his 2 assists in midweek will be the moment that kickstarts Florian Wirtz's Liverpool career. It's not just his performance in Frankfurt though that means he should get a start against Brentford, having also been one of the brighter sparks off the bench against United. Cody Gakpo is in good form in front of goal, and Hugo Ekitike will surely keep his place up front, leaving just one question remaining over Alexander Isak and Mohamed Salah. Given the doubt over the former's fitness, it seems a good bet that Salah will return this weekend. There is an argument for Federico Chiesa to be given a go, although if we're basing this on what Slot would choose, then it's probably a good bet that the Egyptian will be given his opportunity to revitalize his season. What Arne Slot told former Liverpool man he believed weeks before selling him revealed. A former Liverpool man has revealed what manager Arne Slot believed about him just weeks before he was sold to a fellow Premier League side. Slot has cleared out a number of big names from his side in just over a year at Anfield. The likes of Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz are perhaps the biggest names, but Jarell Quansah, Harvey Elliott and Sepp van den Berg all had promise which will now be unfulfilled at Liverpool. Elliott is having a torrid time at Aston Villa, but Quansah and van den Berg have landed on their feet, the latter a staple in the Brentford side, having not missed a minute in the Premier League this season. He played only 4 senior games at Liverpool but has revealed Slot felt he had a future at the club just weeks before he left. Van den Berg told The Guardian, "The years before, I never had this feeling of me having a proper chance. A few weeks down the line, he was saying, 'You're doing very well. I want you to stay.' He told me, 'You're not going to start, but I believe if you stay you will get a chance in the future to start.'" Had Van den Berg waited it out, with Quansah leaving and Ibrahima Konate looking likely to depart at the end of the season, there might well have been a role for him. However, he'd already been out on loan to 3 different clubs during his time as a Liverpool player and clearly did not want to wait any longer to be a starter, which he is with Brentford. Van den Berg struggled at Liverpool. Van den Berg felt forgotten at Liverpool, having only ever played 4 senior games, and detailed how tough his time there was. "I was going home crying at some points and then not speaking to anyone. Do you call this depressed? I think it's a bit too heavy a word. But I wasn't feeling well," he said. "I wasn't in the headspace you were supposed to be in. I had no confidence and that really affected me as a footballer. I was just constantly doubting myself, like I was not good enough. I didn't want to go to training, which is not me. Then, you are really down low. Looking back, if someone had taken care of me as a young player, it would have helped me, for sure. For young guys going abroad, going to big clubs, I'd say to parents, be careful. Make sure the kid is okay. I have lovely parents, my mum FaceTimes me every day but still she didn't know 100% how I felt. And for the clubs, definitely look out more for the younger players. On the other hand, I did learn a lot from the situation. It made me the guy I am today. My injury at Schalke, as well, it makes you stronger. You learn so much because you go into such a dark space. It feels like your whole world dies in front of you because football is your world. Luckily, I survived it." Liverpool's forgotten summer signing could be in line to finally make Reds' debut. Arne Slot could be set to hand out another debut in the coming days as the Liverpool head coach tries to deal with his side's growing injury list. The Reds are back in Premier League action on Saturday as they travel to Brentford, where they will be hoping to get their title challenge defense back on track after finally returning to winning ways against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League on Wednesday. There's no rest for Slot and his players at the moment, with the fixtures coming thick and fast as they then continue their Carabao Cup exploits on Wednesday, facing Crystal Palace for the 3rd time already this season. With the league in Europe taking priority at this stage of the season, the visit of the Eagles will give Slot the chance to rotate his squad, which will come as a relief after the Reds' injury list grew a little longer this week. And with Alisson Becker still out injured, that means there could be a debut in goal against Palace. According to the Daily Mail, Freddie Woodman is being considered to make his first competitive appearance for Liverpool. Slot is said to not want to risk Georgi Mamardashvili against Palace, with the Georgia international already stepping up to deputize for Alisson in the Brazilian's absence. Woodman starting on Wednesday would follow the same structure that has already been established by Slot, who has turned to his number 2 goalkeeper for the domestic cup competitions. When Alisson picked up an injury last season, Caoimhin Kelleher was also rested against Brighton in the same competition, with Vyacheslav Jaros, who joined Ajax on loan during the summer, handed his first start for the club. Woodman is said to have made a good impression in training since joining the club during the summer, with the 28-year-old described as a bubbly character who raises standards. His debut looks set to come as Slot could be forced into a number of changes over the coming games. Already without Alisson and long-term absentee Giovanni Leone, Liverpool had to travel to Frankfurt without Ryan Gravenberch after the midfielder twisted his ankle during the defeat to Manchester United. Despite a resounding 5-1 victory in Germany, the Reds' concerns only grew as Jeremy Frimpong was forced off during the first half with a hamstring problem, while Alexander Isak was withdrawn at halftime after complaining of a groin issue. Alex was well prepared to play, but the margins are small, Slot said on Isak's injury on Wednesday. I am hoping this is not that bad. If he would be out for a few weeks, that would throw him back. I don't think there is a rule for how long it will be until we see the best of Isak. We were careful of him, Sweden too, we told them he is ready to play twice. It is a thin balance if you miss pre-season. Some march through it, some get injured again.